Maya Chen looked like any other commuter on the crowded downtown subway, MIME. Small frame wrapped in a simple cardigan, worn sneakers, and a quiet demeanor that made her nearly invisible among the rush-hour crowd. The group of rowdy passengers saw an easy target when they spotted her clutching a grocery bag in the corner seat. They had no idea that beneath her unassuming exterior lay decades of martial arts training. What started as casual shoving and cruel laughter would soon become a lesson they would never forget. The other passengers watched in silence as the harassment escalated, but they had no idea what was about to unfold. Sometimes the quietest person in the room is the most dangerous, and these bullies were about to learn that the hard way. Before I continue the story, please subscribe. I need to reach 1,000 subscribers so I can keep bringing you stories like this every day. It's just one click for you, but it means a lot to me. Thank you. Maya Chen stepped onto the downtown subway car with the same quiet grace she brought to everything in her life. At 35 years old, she moved through the world like a gentle breeze, barely disturbing the air around her. Her small frame was wrapped in a soft gray cardigan that had seen better days, paired with well-worn jeans and simple canvas sneakers that whispered against the subway floor. In her arms, she cradled a brown paper grocery bag filled with humble ingredients for the week ahead. Fresh vegetables and rice that would become simple, nourishing meals in her modest apartment. Her long black hair was pulled back in a practical ponytail, and her makeup-free face held the serene expression of someone completely at peace with herself and her place in the world. Maya had always preferred simplicity over spectacle, substance over style. While others around her clutched designer handbags and wore clothes that screamed their worth, she found comfort in anonymity. The subway car was filling with the usual evening rush-hour crowd. A mix of tired office workers, chattering teenagers, and weary parents heading home. Maya made her way to her preferred spot, a corner seat near the window, where she could watch the city blur past while remaining largely unnoticed by her fellow passengers. She settled into the worn fabric seat with practiced ease, placing her grocery bag carefully on her lap and adjusting her cardigan against the air conditioning. Her posture was naturally straight, a subtle hint of the discipline that governed her daily life, though to casual observers she simply looked like another quiet commuter eager to get home. Maya closed her eyes briefly and took a slow, measured breath, centering herself as she had been taught to do countless times before. The rhythmic clacking of the train wheels on the tracks created a familiar meditation soundtrack, and she felt her shoulders relax as the stress of the day began to melt away. In these quiet moments between her teaching responsibilities and her evening routine, Maya found the peace that had always been her anchor. She had no way of knowing that her peaceful commute was about to be shattered by 3 young men who would mistake her gentle nature for weakness, her humble appearance for vulnerability. The subway doors hissed open at the next stop, and the relative peace of the train car was immediately shattered by raucous laughter and loud voices. 3 young men in their early 20s swaggered through the doors like they owned the entire transit system, their expensive sneakers squeaking against the polished floor as they made their grand entrance. Leading the group was Derek Martinez, 23 years old, and radiating the kind of cocky confidence that came from never being told no. His muscular frame filled out a pristine designer hoodie that probably cost more than most people's monthly rent, and his fresh haircut was perfectly styled despite the humid evening air. Gold chains glinted around his neck, and his diamond-studded earrings caught the harsh fluorescent lights of the subway car as he surveyed the space like a predator, choosing his territory. Behind him followed his 2 loyal companions, equally dressed in expensive streetwear that announced their privileged status to anyone within eyeshot. Brad Thompson, a lanky blonde with cold blue eyes, wore limited-edition sneakers that had cost him $800 and a leather jacket that made him feel invincible. The third member of their trio, Justin Walsh, shorter but stockier, sported designer jeans and a branded t-shirt that he wore like armor against the world. All 3 carried themselves with the swagger of young men who had never faced real consequences for their actions, their movements aggressive and territorial as they claimed space in the crowded train car. Derek's eyes scanned the passengers with predatory interest, looking for someone to provide the evening's entertainment. He thrived on confrontation, on the rush of asserting his dominance